Hi everyone, Erin here with Terravinos. This is a short video on how rosé wine gets its color because who doesn't love rosé? Obviously, if you found this video, you're a fan as well, so cheers to that, and let's get started. Winemakers have 4 options to make rosé wines. These are maceration, direct press, saunier, and blending. Winemakers will need to decide on which method they'll use depending on the style of rosé wine they want to make, and in some regions, tradition. Market demand or what's popular at any given moment can also drive the process they decide to use. So let's jump into each of these types of rosé wine. Type number 1 is maceration. This is the most common method for making rosé wines. The winemaker takes red grapes like Grenache or Pinot Noir, crushes them to release their juice, then leaves the juice in contact with the skins for a period of time. Sometimes this is as short as a few hours, sometimes it can be 2 or more days. The longer the juice is in contact with the grapes, the darker the resulting wine, and the opposite's true too. Brief contact time means lighter pinks. Skin contact gives more body, texture, and flavor to the wine, so expect a darker pink rosé to be fuller bodied than a sandy-colored pink wine. Once the juice achieves the desired color, the winemaker drains the juice off the skins and starts fermentation. Method number 2 for crafting rosé wines is called direct press, also called vin gris in French, or gray wine. Here the winemaker uses red grapes and presses the grapes directly after harvest, but this wine style's goal is a very lightly colored pink wine. Direct press can make the lightest color of rosé wines, in fact, which is currently in vogue. Just how light can a rosé wine be? Direct press rosés can take on a white peach or even sandy hue with no pink at all. Alright, the third technique for rosé wines is the saunier method, which translates to bleeding. You may see either of these terms on a rosé bottle label. Not to worry, there's no blood in your wine. The winemaker crushes red grapes and lets the wine sit, again for a few hours to a few days, and then drains off a portion of the juice, which is now pink, from a larger tank of red wine grapes. The main tank is destined to make a regular red wine. The rosé juice can be any shade of pink, from pale blush to vibrant magenta. The winemaker uses this method to craft fuller-bodied, more concentrated red wines if they want, and also be able to sell a rosé wine, which diversifies their inventory for sale. Here's a small carboy of rosé Cabernet Sauvignon that's currently aging in my garagiste winemaking project. I use the saunier method to concentrate my Cabernet Sauvignon to create a fuller-bodied dry red wine. I left the juice for this rosé with the larger tank of Cab for about 2 days. It's gorgeous, and I am so excited to try it in another few months. Okay, my digression's over. Let's move on. The final method for making rosé wine is also the least common, which is blending red and white wines together. Though it makes logical sense that marrying a red and white wine makes a pink wine, we do this with oil painting, blending these 2 wine styles isn't widely practiced. But some winemakers do blend red and white wines to make rosé wine. This method, the blending method, is what they use for pink champagnes or pink sparkling wines. The base wine for pink champagne is almost always white, and then the chef du cave blends in a tiny portion of red wine to change the wine's hue and make it a lovely shade of pink. So, that's everything you need to know about rosé wine and how these delicious pinks get their color. The next time you're admiring the jeweled hue of a particularly gorgeous rosé, be sure to raise a glass to the winemaker, because they did that just for you. That's it. Until next time, drink well.